Okay, so now let's talk about how would I set up the guardrails using the Tastytrade platform. Now, like I said, Thinkorswim and Tastytrade, you can use the guardrails. I like those, but my favorite is still Webull because of the functionality of it and the ease of it. But you can still use these two to set up the guardrails and trade the strategy that I'm going to show you in a later video. Now, after you download the Tastytrade platform and you get all your system set up the way you like it with your watch list, like over here, and all of that kind of stuff. Like I said, 'cause this is not a tutorial on how to set up Tastytrade. There's a bunch of those. This is for after that. Once you're all set up, you come over to the trade tab, which is right here, and you can have this either on like the active trader, which I don't like to use that for this, or you can see the options chain that way. I like to use the curve because the curve to me is a little bit more simple, and I can see where profit starts and loss where loss starts. All right, now let's go over to Meta like we did the other example. Let's pull Meta up. Okay, now let's pull up the contracts. Let's go call. So now we can see the contracts. Let's go to a very, very cheap contract. So we have to subtract the days. Expiration, let's put this all the way down to, let's keep clicking this, down to 3 days. And let's go further out so we can get cheaper so it's easier to see. Okay, cool. Let's stop right here. All right, cool. Now, as you can see here, there's a lot of information here, but the information you're going to need is this over here where it says bracket. You click on, right now we're in, our contract is the May 23rd, 677 and 50 cent call, which expires in 3 days, which is on Friday. And it's uh, a call option, not a put option. But you can do this for calls or puts, doesn't matter, it's the same setup. So you go over to brackets. Right now, the price for this contract is 27 cents. Go to brackets and pull that up. So now, as you can see, the price, like I told you, is 27 cents. Our target profit, we can move this to, let's move this down here. Okay, let's see if we can get this set up here. Oh, matter of fact, let's go over to the settings first. Let me come over to the settings. Here we go. Okay, trade. All right, cool. So now you can, let me go back to show you how I got there, just to make sure. All right. In this window here where you have the options contract and the strikes, you come up to this little cog right here, and you select on that, and that's going to pull up the settings for that for this broker. Come over to the options tab, and this is where we would change and modify the guardrails percentages. Remember how we modified the guardrails percentages for Thinkorswim and how we modified it on Webull? But this is where you modify it at Tastytrade. You come all the way down first. How many option contracts you want? The setup. You This is a small account, so all you need is one. Make sure this is on one. You can make this two. You can change it to four or whatever, but make sure it's one. The default quantity. And when you want to increase it, like for an example, if um, the stock is moving pretty fast, sometimes the market moves fast, and maybe you want to jump in and add a couple more contracts because now your account is more larger. You can set this to say when you're selecting more contracts and you press the up button, I'm gonna show you where that's at. It will increment up the number of contracts you want. Like you can say now, once that's left at 2, that means when I hit the button in the over here, let me show you. Let me click OK. Increment quantity. When I hit this, it's gonna go from 1 contract to 3 contracts, and you see that up here. Buying 1, click up. You see it went from 2 to 4, 6. It's going up by 2 because it's going up by 2 because I went in there and changed that to increment up 2. All right, so let me go back down, go back in there and fix that. So that what that does. See, incrementing up by 2. Well, right now, all we need is 1. Now, okay, cool. Here is the option or the maximum quantity, meaning how many, what's the most contracts you can get at one time before the system says we're not letting you take no more, because we don't know if this is a person doing this on purpose or by mistake. You can set this at a maximum quantity. The maximum quantity here is 10. I never really mess with this because I'm pretty focused. You're normally pretty locked in when you're trading, so just be mindful of that. Like I said, you never want to take too many contracts at one time. Now here is this is the default option profit target, which is 20%. This is not for the guardrails, so don't worry about this. We're looking at this one right here, these two right here, for bracket orders. Let's change this to 20%. So our take profit will be 20%, and our stop loss is going to be 5%. Just for this example, we click OK. Remember, 20% and 5%. So now when we select on bracket, it's automatically going to set up a profit target that's 20% above this price and a stop loss that's 5% below this price. You'll see it here. You can see it there now. You see, so stop loss, and because it's how can I say this? Because it's rounding off in a sense, because the market's not open and you're not getting exact numbers. It's trying to get as close to 20% here and as close to 5% here. And now you can actually fix this and make this a limit order, so that limit orders are better than market orders. So you can fix that. And then GTC stands for good till cancel. All right, good till cancel. That means that's order going to sit on there until it's good till cancel for the most part. Now, once you hit review and send, this is going to the market. And if this gets filled, let's change this a little bit just for example's sake. See, it's hard to get 5% exactly because we had 26%. If this was a larger contract, large expensive contract, it'd be a little more easier. But I guess you can get the picture here. Anyway, if we hit review and send and we get filled, let me show you where this is going to show up at. See, in Webull and Thinkorswim, you kind of see it right in front of you, and it shows up on the actual chart. In a Tastytrade, you have to flip back and forth on the chart. So for this broker, I would make sure I have an additional chart open on another screen so I can watch the price action in the chart. Though you're not looking at it, your actual order in that particular chart, because it's a different screen, but at least you can see the price action. Where in Webull and Thinkorswim, you can see it right there directly in front of you. With or Tastytrade, that's not the case. That's fine. Like I said, charts are just charts. You can use any different chart you like to look at the price action. Now, anyway, once you hit review and send, it's going to show up here. Right in here, you're going to see it here. And then you can watch the price action as it go in your favor. And if it goes in your favor, you can select on one of your orders going to be sitting there. You can select on one of your orders the profit target or the stop loss, and move it up or move it down to your liking, so that you can either you can follow along with my strategy. But that's what I do. Like I said, when I know the market price action goes in my favor, I move up my stop loss. It needs to be at least 10 to 15% before I move it up. But 10 to 15% in my favor, I move it up. and then I leave it there. And if it goes higher, then I move it up. But other than that, I leave it there. And now the market only has one more choice. I mean, two more choices. Either pop me out with where I'm at now, or continue to go up, and I keep following, trailing you, and taking more money. That's how I use that. But anyway, this is how you use the Tastytrade platform for my strategy using the guardrails, aka OCO orders. Hope this makes sense. Any questions? Hit me up in the comment section or email me. All right, y'all. Let's get into the next section of this training. All right.